Counterpunch boxing news. Counterpunch boxing news.
Like he said.
Counterpunch boxing news.
Like he said.
Counterpunch boxing news.
Like he said.
Counterpunch boxing. Counterpunch boxing news. What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Derrick James, Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford. Get this. According to Derrick James, he vows that you will see the best technical version of Errol Spence because he has to be. Some fighters wow fans with their special effects. You know what I'm talking about, right? The mesmerizing footwork, the excellent shot selection, the non-traditional defense attributes. Mix it all together along with a few other traits, and you will have a fighter that can capture your imagination. For Floyd Mayweather, it was his ability to adapt to virtually any style. Pernell Whitaker's left fans oohing and eyeing after a series of punches whizzing by his head. But with Errol the True Spence, he comes in drilling body work, working behind the jab, and will not stop being relentless. That's what he's known for, okay? And according to Derrick James says his fighter, Errol Spence, you will see the best technical version of Errol Spence, said James, the group of reporters recently, because he has to be successful. Let me counterpunch. You're going to see the best version of Errol Spence, not because he's trained hard, not because, you know, we've tried something new, not because he's the superior boxer anyway on that confidence tip. None of that. It's because he has to be. That's not a good sign. Okay, that's not a reason. That's more like a do or die like situation. You're going to see the different Errol Spence. You know why? Because he has to. That's not telling me nothing. In fact, making comments like that puts more pressure on the fighter. I think you're going to see the same Errol Spence you've always seen. I think you're going to see a more focused Errol Spence. But is a more focused Errol Spence a hesitant one? A more reluctant one? You know, sometimes you can, if the boat ain't broke, or if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? I think that's for Errol Spence. I think Errol Spence should be Errol Spence. This new and improved Errol Spence, that new and improved Errol Spence might not be able to beat Terrence Crawford because he's new and improved and he's tried something different besides who he was. And who he was might be enough to beat Terrence Crawford on that night. Okay, it all matters on what happens that night. Not the day before, not the day after, not a week before, not a week after, but that night, okay? Will Errol Spence be good enough to beat Terrence Crawford? And it ain't because he has to be. That's like a sign of desperation to me. That doesn't sound good at all. That just sounds like, well, he's going to have to do it because he's going to have to do it. Well, okay. Well, you're going to see one cussing Ronnie Shields sounding Derrick James if he can't get the job done based on what he says or you say he has to be. You know what I mean? So it's just like, well, he has to. I mean, okay, do or die, I get it, but that doesn't mean, and that shows me nothing that you're talking about that you guys worked on that's going to convince me that he's going to do or be this best version. You know what I mean? So I just don't, I think that's strange for him to say that, but I've heard strange things come from Derrick James before, you know, like, oh, well, I don't know. There's really no way to prepare. I don't really know how to prepare for Terrence Crawford. I heard him say that before. And I was like, oh, shit, what do you mean? You know, and this was way before the fight was even announced, and to the point, like, we were like sick of hearing about rumors that it was going to be announced. So, but I think Errol Spence should do very well if he does exactly what he's been doing. However, I don't think what he's been doing will work. The only thing that will help him is if his size and his power combined is enough to stop Terrence Crawford, or to stop Terrence Crawford from doing what Terrence Crawford does. That's the only thing. And I don't think that'll happen. The only way it would happen is he knocks Terrence Crawford out. Because Terrence Crawford is not a guy that's going to bitch up, is going to stop doing what he's going to do or what because he adapts. Anyone that adapts to you, anybody that adapts to you, you're not going to stop the person that's a style bender, that adapts, that makes adjustments. You're not going to stop a person like that. All is going to happen, that person is going to adapt to whatever you've attempted to do to him or done to him. Okay, so, yeah, to me, my counterpunch, Derrick James sounds a bit desperate, you know, but it is grind time. It is do or die. So it is very serious. This is the biggest fight we have this year, stylistic wise. Fuck the money. This is the best fight between the two most talented, undefeated champions this year in the welterweight division in the last 40 years. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Derrick James and his comments concerning Errol the True Spence. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!